Dr. David A. Paget, Associate Professor of Geography and Director of the Geographic Information Sciences Lab at Tennessee State University.
I'm David Schlund. I'm a health psychologist in the Department of Psychology at Vanderbilt University.
Well, I'm, largely credited with making the first food desert maps in Nashville using geographic information systems.
Three things that need to have to be a food desert. You have to have lack of access to sort of high quality food, fresh fruits and vegetables. You have to have concentrated poverty, and you have to have issues with transportation or transportation access.
You got a food desert, food swamp. A food swamp is, you have food, but it's Wendy's, Church Chicken, just Popeyes, just all these fast food places, Burger King, that probably will contribute to obesity and bad health, who knows what, but it's cheap.
The director said, oh, by the way, I'm just curious, what you have 4 areas you've identified as food deserts. What's the racial composition? 85% African American. My take on it is this is a living example of institutional racism. You could not design a food system that was more discriminatory against African Americans than what Nashville actually has. Many of those neighborhoods in North Nashville actually grew out of what they called contraband camps at the end of the Civil War, when the freed slaves were basically they had refugee camps for the freed slaves, and that became the black neighborhoods of North Nashville.
So what happened, or what has been happening, is you have, of course, in the 1950s and 60s, you had redlining, segregation, and African Americans were largely relegated to the inner city. Then the 1968 Housing Rights Act was passed, and for the first time you started to see African Americans move to the inner ring suburbs. Then we had something that was called white flights. White people saw blacks coming in, saw that their housing values might go down, some of them were just straight plain racist. They left, and the amenities went with them. Stores, quality schools, everything went with the whites. So they moved farther out into the suburbs, even to the exurbs, leaving behind these inner ring suburbs that became dumping grounds for Section 8 apartment complexes.
One of the things you really have to understand about North Nashville is Interstate 40. So Interstate 40 basically came through and cut North Nashville in half. And nobody sat down and said, oh my God, we're going to make sure we never build a grocery store in a black neighborhood. They just said, oh, we're Kroger's. Where are we going to put our new grocery store so we can make the most money? And so some of that's limited by zoning issues. So you really have to be on a major transportation corridor to have the commercial zoning. And basically nobody has built the grocery stores in these inner city neighborhoods.
I'm working with the REACH 2020 project at Meharry Medical College, and so what we're attempting to do now is develop a sustainability plan. We're now looking at this thing called the agrihood concept, where you take as much abandoned land that's in the city, estimate exactly how much food could be produced from this land if we were to farm it. And so this kind of practice is occurring in Detroit, Milwaukee, and Atlanta, where actually they're looking at vacant land, and there's a lot of vacant land in the inner city for a variety of reasons. Converted into some form of farmland. Now the question is, can we produce enough food from these, inner city farms to sustain the markets? That's the question.
My name is Ezekiel Perry. I'm going to garden healthy food. Got these good greens out here. Got all different types of vegetables in here. We got kales in here. We have all sort of peppers, jalapeno peppers, cayenne peppers. We got sunflower over here. We have a cabbage over here, onion. We have every type of tomato. We have regular tomatoes, we have cherry tomatoes. So we have a variety of food in here. Something to keep you healthy. I'm 69 years old and feel great because I eat this healthy food. That's all I have to talk about today about it.